Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. We are going to continue our space adventure, but of course we have an update, which is 1.196, which does a little bit of performance enhancements, and especially with block collision. Alright, so what we're going to do today is kind of look at the update, which is 1.196, which includes and created better block collisions for things like pistons, rotors, maybe even a hinge, to kind of make things not collide as bad as they used to, or where we will visit Mr. Clang normally when you mess around with pistons in the wrong way. But of course, we have our large ship lined up with our fighting ship, which is pretty much almost the same size, to be honest. And we've been waiting for the platinum to be refined in order to make some shields. But we are definitely out of platinum, which is an issue. And we don't have enough for the field emitters that are being created. But it doesn't matter, because today we're going to work on this space station and play around with those block collisions at the same time. Alright, so there's a few things I want to modify on this space station, and that's going to be this entry here, because technically we don't need an entryway here, and since we have two ships, we might as well have another docking port or something similar to that. So we're gonna take apart this stairwell, these slope blocks, corner blocks, and then connect the conveyors and stick it outwards a little bit more, so that we could put maybe our large respawn pod connected here, while we continue to land our fighter on top here, which probably makes more sense that way. But yeah, just gonna have to really take apart this and expand it really. Alright, so I created a simple platform, basically. And it's all made of catwalks, so we can just walk across, get into our space station. And the main docking is going to be here, which is connects to the back of my respawn pod. So let's get everything docked up so we can charge up and make these things readily available if we had to leave. Alright, so we're docked, and it was a bit difficult to actually dock, because I should have probably extended it just a hair more, but when it's connected, it looks pretty cool, because everything is like almost seamless, where we could just walk from one catwalk to another catwalk, which is pretty cool. But it's a little bit hard to park, especially with this jump drive kind of sticking out from the rear. But we gotta also get the other guy in here, and we'll do that really quickly by going in here, spin it back around, and try to get it from the top down. And the biggest problem is that my ship is ginormous, and this ship is pretty ginormous, so didn't really think this through, but it's gonna be a little bit difficult in terms of getting this guy attached. And it looks like it's not going to be possible. We will need to make some kind of extension for this guy as well. So I could probably piggyback off of this here and extend it that way. Alright, so I parked the fighting ship on this little lengthy dock so that it doesn't collide, or it gives us enough room so that we don't crash into our space station. And it has docking points or connectors, so maybe room for like a smaller grid spacecraft or something similar to that. But I was trying something a little different, and I put it on the two pistons so that we can easily go and retract the platform for it to park better and also to launch better, because once we are not extended anymore, we are pretty close to the ship, and this just gives us a little bit of space so that we can park our fighting ship. So with the catwalks here, and the blocks, we have a little bit better in terms of overlap. I think this is part of the update 1.196 where it does better block collisions, and it seems to be working out okay in terms of using catwalks and the blocks itself. Unfortunately, if I put a little too many, it's gonna stop it entirely. But of course, this is kind of the block collision that kind of fixes some issues or causing clang in previous times. So this is one hell of a long platform, but it helps us with docking and giving us some more space. So everything is connected still into the base. So if I were to drop anything off from that spacecraft into the base, it's all connected through the pistons and right back into the space station itself. So that's the addition of that. Now, to be honest, if we actually did a little bit of a walk around inside the base, we do have a lot going on here, and it looks like once we get in from the docking port, we have some like living quarters here. It doesn't have beds and stuff yet, but we can definitely find a spot for it. But once we get to this further end of the base, this should be the, so this is the solar system, solar panel system, and the oxygen system here. And it's everything here is actually quite yellow in a way, so let's see if we can change that. Alright, so we changed some of the corner lights so that it is much brighter in here and looks a little bit better. So the conveyor here, that's the conveyor system that's here, is connected to the large containers outside up there, which is fine. So we can call this the conveyor system side. And now if we go past the front side here, we have the stairs that connects to the very top. And on this side, we have more of just regular quarters that doesn't really do too much. And coming back to it is the other docking port. I just went around in circles basically. So how can I design this to look a little bit better? I'm not too sure. But having it connected this way is not too bad, because either side's a docking station, an entryway, and then the rest of it is heading upstairs. So the upstairs is right here. And if we go climb the staircase and everything like that, we go all the way to the top, we hit this space here, and we should have, well, it's really dark in here. We should have some like containers and stuff like that. Nope, this is all batteries, and then we have the control room upstairs. However, I kind of want to redesign this so that the control room can be reached from the bottom, and then instead of walking through steps, we could kind of create some kind of elevator system here. So let's see how that's gonna work. Alright, so I redesigned the control room so that it looks like pretty much an elevator space. So up here, as we've seen before, it is just the observation tower basically, and it had 2 control seats, but I reduced it to 1 because we are by ourselves, to be honest, and I made it into more of an elevator system for the seat. So once we get to the seat here, we can go ahead and hit the piston on reverse, and it's gonna go up, and away we go. Now we're in the observer tower, and we can see from left to right. We can't see a little bit behind us, but that's okay. But really, it is to kind of show you guys the cool update of the block collision. So now, as you see here, before it would never kind of go up unless you put like half blocks or slopes or something that's not touching each other. But now it is completely touching each other, as you can see here. And it slides right through with no issues, no clang, no explosions or anything like that. So to show you a little bit better, this is the seat here. We're gonna hit the button to bring it up, and you're gonna see that it's gonna fit right through the box with ease without any clang. What I can do a little bit more, instead of putting a block, could probably put a rotor system so that you can spin around in circles to look on the outside, on the observer tower in a 360-degree angle. But I'm not going to do that because I prefer to just keep this into a nice little seat where we can easily raise and unraise from looking up in the observation tower. We're not probably going to spend a lot of time out there anyways, to be honest. So that was just to show you guys a little bit of the block collision corrections or update, but it also makes for a pretty damn cool observation tower. So this way we don't have to climb up there. We can easily just piston elevator ourselves up here. So yeah, so we just made some minor adjustments to the space station so far, and the only way to get into the different layers is through the middle with the stairs. I want to change that so that we can get up from different variations of the space station itself. And if you notice, this is a little bit of a tip here, or extended part. That's actually the piston for the observation tower here. So another spot that I see that we can make some changes is right here. And what's inside, it's probably just a, yeah, it's just a containment spot, which is nothing really there. So we can probably extend it somehow if we wanted to. And honestly, what we can do is connect this. So we could put some kind of connection point here and close it out somehow, just to extend it by a couple more blocks. So we could probably put some more space here. To go upstairs, I don't know, maybe you put a ladder system up here, or maybe an elevator system. That would work as well too. But let's just close out this spot really quickly. And we are finally done with the space station updates and upgrades. So not a big difference from the outside, except for minor things like the spinning cargo containers I did for no apparent reason. Added some hydrogen tanks here that are going to be able to resupply our main ship. And I added some solar panels on the outside dock just to get more sun and power that way, instead of just relying on those in the back, which doesn't seem to get a lot of sun, to be honest. So either I may need to spin the space station around a little bit to follow the sun better, or leave it for now. I do like those LCD screens where they're red, and then when you're far away you don't see them, but when you get close it just lights up, which is pretty cool. Not sure why it does that, but it just does it. Alright, so we already went over this docking station, which is great for our fighting ship, where it can just land and retract and extend, so we don't collide into the space station whatsoever, and we can have room for additional docking for smaller ships too. I made some additional changes inside. So once we come in from the extended docking station, we have kind of like our resting area or bedroom area, so we can get into a bed, sleep over here, take a look at Europa from out here. And a lot of the little spots, such as these little corners where usually behind it is the turret and the connectors, I just put a whole bunch of restrooms or toilets there, to be honest, so you can't see anything on the other side of it, really. So to show you that, that's what it's supposed to look like. But I've been putting bathrooms all over the place that has this kind of room, just to cover up everything and make things look more interesting. And plus, there's a bathroom door. I did add an additional thing, which is the elevator, so that this way we have another option of going to the second tier other than using these stairs. So with the elevator, how do I know where the elevator is? So I marked this elevator with this catwalk so that we know exactly where it is, and plus it's right next to this computer or button, so we can easily access it. So we press the button, we're gonna go up the layer, and as you see, a nice windowed area into the next tier. And it stops right there. And the buttons are all over the place. So when I go back down, we can easily go back down by hitting this button here too. So now this is only made possible with that 1.196 block collision correction or update, so that we can easily put pistons so it won't cause any crazy clang or anything like that. Alright, so that gives us the secondary elevator. Otherwise, we're going to be climbing these steps really. So let me show you the outside of it. So basically the elevator is surrounded by glass here just to make it kind of airtight and be able to view the outside once we're going up the elevator. It's pretty much going up to a room that doesn't have too much, but it is done through 2 pistons behind this pillar here. It was 2 pistons with a little bit of adjustment to the minimum and maximum, just so it fits perfectly. So you bring it up and down and it looks like it's just there, vanished in between the blocks basically. So that's the secondary way, or maybe even a primary way, to go up the stairs or to the next tier, other than using these stairs out here. And we have a third one. If we're parking from this section, it's the more old-fashioned ladder style, where we're just gonna climb or use your jetpack, either one. But depending on the situation, maybe you don't have a jetpack and you just want to climb up the ladder, you can climb all the way up to the second tier from the outside, instead of having to go inside, go crazy, look for a door and everything like that. I added an extra door up here, and up here will lead us to that observation tower's elevator or seat, where we can view the outside if there's anything going on, especially during battle, which would be pretty cool. Alright, other than that, I expanded a room, and I'm gonna call it the chill corner or the chill room, because this is going to be similar to the spot where we go down for sleeping. But look at this expansion where I put more windows and a nice view of Mars. So we can sit down, enjoy the view, and of course we put a bar here along with the kitchen for some food. So that's pretty much the chill corner really. And again, all these doors that leads to turrets are bathrooms for whatever reasons. Not a lot of changes, but we made it a little bit more convenient so that we can go up and down the different tiers. Expanded it to make it more spacious, so that we have like a chill spot, a bedroom area, add some bathrooms and things like that, and better views is another thing really. Alright, so it's not much of a space station upgrade or update, but it made it more convenient, more power, more cargo, and better looking in terms of like the hydrogen storage and things like that. But generally this episode was just to update the space station and showcase the new update 1.196 with the block collision update, so that we can make these great elevators without having too much issues or any clang involved when you have pistons going through blocks, as we showed here with the elevator systems. I wish I had more time. I would probably expand a lot of other areas, but the space station is actually works perfectly fine. It has a lot of defenses, and it will defend us as much as it can. And it looks like it has been defending us here and there. As you see, there's a bit of damage on the space station itself. Alright, so that's the walkthrough of the space station with minor updates. I could probably do a little bit more if I wanted to, but I really wanted to make it more accessible by including more doors, different systems to get to the second tier, and of course making these docking stations. Alright, so that's going to be today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please continue to support this channel by hitting that subscribe button. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up and like the video. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell and leave us some comments. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.